These 8 Patriotic ATCs came from last week's oil pastel masterboard. I never posted the video because we went away and Mousegate 2.0 happened. I'll tell you that story in the next video. In the meantime, please enjoy this patriotic transformation. Hi, I'm Christine, the artist behind Darlyssa Designs, and I'm happy you're here. Welcome.
Hi everyone. I have gathered a bunch of stuff together and the cards that I made on Monday, and I have no clue how I'm going to make these patriotic. I did pick out the ones that have a lot of blue and red, and I had the idea when I started creating the Monday Masterboard that I wanted to just create one set to make it easier because I'm behind on my challenges, and so I have to create things with wings and something patriotic. And I thought, 4th of July is in the summertime, so I thought, okay, I'm going to create a bright summery feel to one whole set, and then I'll create both themes from those cards. Now I'm done and I have no idea what I'm going to do because these are a little bit not as bright as these, so they don't really stand out. Some of them are big. I'm going to end up using them somewhere else, but I just don't know what I'm going to do. I have this sheet of paper that I found, so I thought I could get a little red, white, and blue in there. And I also thought maybe it'd be cool to just kind of tear up some paper to put underneath part of it so that it makes these pieces that are a little bit muted stand out more, and then that way I can layer them. I don't know if I want to do that or not, so I'm just going to start playing around with these things and see. I've got some quotes here. Again, some of these are a little bit big, so I will either cut them down or use them somewhere else, but I do have a set that's smaller I printed too. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to play around and see where I'm going to go. I could also take some of these and do a little bit of white paint or gesso behind it so that you can see these better. But some of them have a lot of white in them already. So I really don't know. I wish I could hear all of your suggestions because that would be cool. But sometimes you just got to lay it all out and start moving it around to see what's going to work and what doesn't. And that's what I think I'm going to do here, is just start placing things and see what happens. I could also cut these into pieces if I wanted to stack the words. So I'm going to leave these on the side and see, maybe I'll come back to those. But in the meantime, I'm just going to start grabbing stuff and placing it down here and see what happens. I've got some cute little tags here. Oh, this is cool. I like this because it looks like a sun. So, or it could be part of the... I'm not sure I love the fireworks. Here's a smaller one. This one's cool. Oh, you know what I could do? I could turn this over and put this here. And then I could maybe outline that. I don't know. Maybe this one has fireworks up here. That's kind of cool. I feel like it needs more color though. So maybe I could cut up or tear up some of that paper that I found. So that's a possibility. I've got a cool little patriotic looking birdhouse and some cool tags. Sweet Land of Liberty. I could layer these. I like the stars because the birdhouse isn't too patriotic, so I need something a little bit more. Maybe a heart. We'll see. Here's a blue star. I like the flowers around that one. USA. That kind of looks cool there. Maybe. Here's a nice firework. That's kind of cool. And I'm just going to move them around and see. I feel like it needs something underneath it. Here's a flag. Oh, I kind of like the flag here. That's cool. USA. I like that. And where else? Okay, so this is just not that patriotic. It does have red, white, and blue flowers, but I feel like it needs, here, proud to be an American. This is nice. I don't want to cover up the ball. I really like these jars. I use them a lot. And you see my cards are rolling up a little bit. They'll flatten out a little with, you know, as I glue these down. But I do have a sticker that goes on the back with the series name. And I might glue these. I might put a backing on these. So maybe this has, no, that's too much. What about a small one? I don't like that either. I'm wondering if I should use these flowers. I'm not sure if I love the flowers. I mean, I love the flowers. I just don't know if I want to put it in this set. And we definitely have to use the eagle somewhere. Oh, how about right there? That's cool. Okay, I like that. And maybe another little star up here. And I really didn't cut that much for this set. Wait till you see how much I have. That's kind of cool. Okay, I like that. But I definitely want some Home of the Brave. Yes, because it's a birdhouse. So, where am I going to put it though? Maybe I can just tuck this. Let's put the heart up there. And then maybe just put this. I don't really like, oh, look, maybe I could just do it this way. Or up here. Sometimes it's easier just to take out the glue and start gluing stuff down. Or I could, although I like that the flower has the petals. I can overlap that a little bit, or maybe put it behind. Yeah, that's good. And then put that way. I like that. Now, do I put anything behind it? That's the question. And I need stars and stripes, maybe? Oh, actually, let's do the stars and stripes there, and we'll do the USA here. Yeah. I like the stars and stripes. Let's put that down there on top of that flower, because I like the blue stripes. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I could do two of... Oh, actually, let's just take this one off and do the larger one. I like that. And then put this further down. Like it. Now this one I can cut off and use this. Let's just tear this little piece off here. So I can use that there. And then I'll trim it. And then this. Oh, okay, here we go. I like this. I like that, but maybe... down here. Maybe. And then... Here's a little tag. We could have a tag hanging off the... Maybe. I also have this heart. I think the heart can go with this star. Maybe the star goes up here and the heart goes... that's too much. But I really do like this star. Shine bright. Oh, here it is. Shine bright. Okay, let's move this down a little bit. Because I like the gold. I like those circles. And I'm not, you know, crazy about that corner there. There. Okay. I'm liking where this is going. That wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. Now I have to decide whether I'm going to use this. But I'm going to take this stuff and put it up here in case I want it. And I'm going to move all this stuff and start to glue these down one at a time. Okay, so far I'm not loving these at all, but I'm going to trust the process. And I think I am going to use a little bit of this paper so that they all look like a set. And I have a couple of ideas. Once I get this stuff glued down, I should probably figure out what I'm doing before I start gluing, but I have no idea. So I'm going to go ahead and just get this part done, and then I'll figure out how to finish them off. I'm thinking maybe some gold accents I could outline in white, and this glue needs to probably be cleaned out because it's not coming out easily. So I know it does not really match what I've already got going on here, but we're going to figure out how to make it match. I'm going to figure out how to make it work, and I'm just going to do it as I go. Figure it out step by step and just dive in, and like I said, trust the process. And if it doesn't work out, I have more paper and I can start over and I can cut these up and use them for something else. I don't know. But that's how I'm going to do it. So if you've been around for a little bit, you know that I hit 500 subscribers yesterday. So I am super excited about that. And last time I looked, I'm already at 505. So finally, I waited for so long for that to happen. I know it doesn't sound like much, but it is. There are 500 of you that are members of this channel. So welcome. I have lots of fun ideas coming up. I have a subscription snail mail thing that I'm working on and super excited about. So I will share those details with you hopefully soon. We'll see. I kind of like that. Let's see. I really want this little bow to be in here, but I don't think it's going to happen. Oh, how did I do that before? Like this. Okay, all right, we can make it work. Yeah, and then the star can go up here. I don't think that's how I had it, but that's what we're doing now. And I really don't know if I'm feeling that. What do you think? No? I don't really like it. Okay, let's set this one aside. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this one out because I really like it. And I do think that I could get this in right there. So let me put this way so I don't forget. Oh, it's getting hot in here. I'm just going to put a little bit across this bottom. I really love this blue. I hate to lose that, but that's what we're going to do. Maybe a little more like that. I don't know. And if you remember this paper, this is the first time I've used this paper, and it is just not very cooperative. I can't remember what kind of paper it is, but I would recognize it. It's really old too, so I don't think they sell this anymore. I'm not sure, but it really has given me a hard time. But you use what you have. I do anyway. Yeah, I kind of like that. That looks cool. Okay, we're going to do that. Let me just make sure that nothing... Okay, there's definitely nothing underneath this, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. Helm of the Brave. Now I want to go down a little bit further because I am going to round these corners, I think. So I don't want anything too close to the corner, even though it's just going to be a tiny little bit that gets cut off. So let me see where this is going to go. Did I do the heart underneath? No, I'm going to do the heart over. Right there. And then the star. Okay, so nothing's really overlapping. Yep, I'm super excited to continue. It's nice to finally see some... I mean, I've been growing this whole time, and that's been fun, but it seems like the minute I hit 500 yesterday, YouTube... I don't know if it's a thing, but it seems that it's just been pushing me out there. So that's kind of cool. If it keeps up, it would be really, really cool. And my snail mail membership will be a letter. At least a letter. I'm not really sure 100% what I'm going to put in the mail, but it'll be a 1-ounce letter with maybe some prompts and a story, a newsletter, a message, some, fun things to guide you if you want to be more creative. That's the plan. Okay, I like that. I may go and outline some of this in white, I'm thinking, because then you would be able to see it a little bit better. And also maybe put some gold specks here and there. So the stars have flowers in them. It might be cool to put the center of the flower in there. I like that. Let's do this one. So I definitely want some red, white, and blue in here. And I like that there's red and blue up in here already. So should I do it this way or this way? I think I like it that way. Let's see. Yeah, I like it better that way. And just let it kind of... And then USA. I like that it's got a little round red. Okay, we'll do that. I don't think that's completely done for sure, but I'm going to go ahead and glue it down. There's so many different ways that you can create things. So, there's some things that need to be laid out and decided before you start gluing everything down. But I find, and that's what I love about these ATCs and ACEOs, which is, if you don't know, it's the same thing, but ATCs you trade and ACEOs are the same cards, the same size exactly, but you sell them. So these are ATCs because they're part of my swap group, which I had no idea existed when I first started doing all of this and talking to people on social media. I know that a lot of you have already heard this story, but I met a group of ladies on TikTok, and I don't even remember how it happened. I just remember this one lady, Stacy, who was just very, very friendly and reached out to me. And I don't know, we just traded a couple comments back and forth, and then she said, hey, do you want to be part of our a traveling journal group? And so we had, I believe, started out with 9 of us. We all are still in the chat. We all say hello, and it's Monday, and oh my gosh, tomorrow's Friday. So, it'll go quiet, and then somebody will say, hey ladies, how's everybody doing? And so that's fun. And then, yeah, we just started chatting, and I didn't know that any of these swaps existed until Stacy kind of introduced me to it. And I didn't know what an ATC was. I figured out what ACEOs are on my own because I kept seeing people making the ATCs and calling them ACEOs. And I was like, what the heck is the difference? So I looked it up and figured it out, and I actually made some for my painted tree booth, which are now sitting in a basket in my house since the painted tree is no more. That's a whole nother story that I've told before, but that's not my favorite story to tell. I don't regret it. I learned a lot, but I've told it before and I'll tell it again. But I mean, basically the company we started put a bunch of money into a booth, and then after a few months, the company shut down in the middle of the day with no notice, and we lost a bunch of money and never got paid. So there's the story in a nutshell. You live, you learn. Okay, this one is very plain. I didn't put any red, white, and blue in this one. This looks like a cloud, and I really like that, but where can I put a little? I could just do a little bit, maybe. If I could get some in here somewhere. I wish I could pull this up. Maybe I can. The one thing I do love about working with Aleene's tacky glue is that it does give you time to peel back your work if you forget something like this. I used to watch Aleene and her daughters back in the day. I think it was the 80s and 90s. Yeah, that was a super fun show. And I remember when she came out with her glue, and I was all things Aleene. I loved doing the projects that they had on their shows. And so I have been an Aleene's tacky glue fan for a very long time. Yeah, and so if you do forget, you got a little bit of time to peel it back. I'm really not paying very much attention to how I tear this. However, on this one, I want that red to show. So I'm just going to do a little bit right there, just to get a little of that color in there. I like it so far. I don't know if these are going to be my favorite cards that I've done. You never know. So what is everybody doing for the weekend? We are spending the weekend with our grandchildren, and I will share pictures in the story next week. We've got lots of fun things planned, but I won't tell you all of that now because it doesn't always work out the way we plan it. And I'm not 100% sure what exactly we're doing. But I do know 2 of my 3 grandchildren will be with me. Skylar is not going on this little adventure with us because she has family coming down from Ohio, and she's really super excited about that. So we didn't really tell her what the plans were because we don't want her to be upset and feel like she's missing out. But we will make it up to her later. And I'm sure she'll be fine with that. It's funny how children are. She would definitely have a serious case of FOMO. But then, if she did stay here for the weekend with the other 2, they would be probably fighting all weekend anyway. So they get along for the most part, but they have their moments. They definitely have their moments. Now, should I put this way or this way? I kind of like this up here. I think I'm going to tear a different piece. Okay, I'm still trying to figure this out. I just don't know. Oh, you know what? I have these here. Maybe these are better. I'm not loving this card, I guess. We'll figure it out. I don't know why, I just really love this part. Maybe this way. Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that better already. Okay. We're getting somewhere. I don't love this purple, so maybe that's a good spot. Okay, that's better. I like it. So I had to take a little bit of a break. And I checked my analytics, and I'm at 507. Welcome, new people. We're so happy to have you here. I mean, I'm telling you, just overnight, this one little just hitting 500 is so exciting. I know, you look around and you see a lot of people on YouTube that have tens of thousands of people, but I think 500 is pretty freaking exciting. I love it. I'm very happy about it, if you didn't notice. Okay. That's better. At least we got past that one. I think I only have two more of this one. This one set. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're doing 8. And we'll do 8 in the other set. I like that. Maybe we need a little baby one too. That's kind of cute. I like it. We can do that. Yeah, I do think some outlines will be cool. So let me know in the comments what you think about a snail mail membership. Do you need prompts to help you get started? I mean, I have a bajillion ideas in my head, and sometimes I come in here and I just don't know where to start. Plus, you know what I think is cool about being part of a group is that it's almost like a book club. You're doing something with other people, and it gives you something to talk about and something that you have in common with other people. So I thought it would be cool to do maybe some journal prompts or something like that, and then do a hashtag where we all post our work. I know I've mentioned this before. I'm just still trying to wrap my head around how I would do it. Because I would love to do something. I've mentioned before also that I used to be on Cafe Mom, and I met a lot of really cool people there, and I still talk to a lot of them, and that was when my children were younger. I hate to cover this up, but I'm gonna do it. And I still, this is, my children are in their 30s now, so it's been a long time. I still have a couple of friends from Cafe Mom that I'm still in contact with. And it was nice because there were different groups that you could join. And one of mine that I really had fun in was a digital editing group, which is how I learned how to use Photoshop and a few other programs. And so there were other ladies on there at different levels. So we always had somebody to ask questions if we didn't understand the program. So that was nice. And then also we would post after, and then everybody in the group would vote on the best designs. And there was like 1st through 5th place, I think. And it was fun to just go through and vote on everybody's, your favorites. And then it was really cool to see what other people thought of your piece of art. And I really learned a lot. There was actually a cameraman from, I believe he worked for CBS News, the nightly news. An older man, and he was in the editing group. And he was very, very helpful. He was such a nice guy. He would answer everybody's questions. And he was very honest about his opinions about your work, but was very nice about it. It was very much constructive criticism, which was cool. Like, he wasn't afraid to tell you you're doing something wrong. But then he would explain, you know, ways you could change while also still being yourself and creating things that you love. But he was very, very helpful. And if I ever had a problem in Photoshop, he was really good about walking you through step by step. Now, he was retired and an older man then, so I expect that he's not around anymore. But I do really, really appreciate the help that he gave me along the way. So you never know when you join these groups who you're going to meet. And also, I think it was really cool that he worked for a major network that, you know, everybody knew, and that he was just hanging out in this editing group because that's what he enjoyed doing, just for fun. So yeah, I'd like to create a community where we all do projects together. And even if you don't, and you do your own thing, that's fine too. But I would love to. And, you know, I love going to the mailbox and finding things in the mailbox. I hate digital magazines. I love so much a real magazine in the mail. So I think it would be cool to get other stuff in the mail, like a little letter and some prompts. I thought about doing stories too, since I'm writing the novel. There could be a running story. I don't know. What do you think? Suggestions, please. Beautiful. And then I thought it would be cool to pick random people sometimes to send a little something extra, so you never know when you're going to get a little surprise in the mail. I just think it's fun. It sounds like a fun idea. Okay, I need something more. So these are all glued down. Let's see if anybody needs anything else. Oh, I think this one needs a star up here. Let's do this blue star. Yeah, let's do a blue star up here. Yes, yes, yes. Whoops. There. Okay. Now I have to figure out how I'm going to make this stand out a little bit more. But I'm glad I just started gluing these down. Did I get red, white, and blue in every one? Yes, I did. That's good. And I think, let's just take out the white pen. This is where my pens end up until it's so... Ooh, I have silver chrome. Maybe silver chrome would be cool. Oh yeah, let's try. And I'm not sure if this is going to show up. Let's try something simple first. This star is big, so I just want to do a little outline. Do a little outline. Now I know it's not going to show up on the... I'm going to try and avoid this. Well, let's try it. See what's the worst thing that can happen. It's there. The pastel. So this is part of the pastel oil pastels that I used. So right away, I see that this paper, while it didn't soak up anything else, it's going to soak up this pen. But I'll just do... Yeah, see? Parts of it is not shiny. But I'll let this dry. And then maybe come back and do another layer. Yeah. It is picking up some of that oil pastel. But what I love about these ATCs is that these are great to experiment. Instead of trying something new on a big piece with expensive supplies. ATCs and ACEOs are great things to play around with to see what your tools are going to do. So I like this. I think I'll do one on the inside, which I'm going to use the smaller side of this pen. A little thinner. It's a chiseled, so there's a sharp point and then there's the wider section. So I'm trying not to touch what I just did. I'm wondering if I should just color that white star in. I don't know, but I'm going to leave that. This is kind of cool. I like that. And I probably will go back and go over that again. So, because now it's sitting on top of that and maybe it'll show up a little bit better. But I'm liking it. I'm probably also going to go around the tags, but we'll just do this for now because I don't want to mess up my ink that's drying. There we go. Okay, my daughter's calling me, so let me call her back and I will resume this in a minute. So some of this is not really shiny. I'm thinking if I go over it a second time and it doesn't get shiny like chrome, I might give these a coat of matte gel medium and seal the card and see if that helps. Because I really like that shiny chrome look. I'm going to put some little shiny chrome dots in there. And since it is getting so late on Thursday, today's Thursday, I think I'm going to stop with these when I'm done here, and I will do the ones with wings next week because I have a little time to send these out still, and I really want them to be nice. So I probably will give these a coat of matte gel medium and let them dry, and then next week when I do the ones with wings, so I'll do butterflies and birds and something a little softer, and I'll leave the pastels on that set. I will show you these finished ones because these really gave me this wasn't an easy set for me, but I think they're going to be cool when I'm done. Not everything has to be your favorite. But then, a lot of times when I say that, by the time I'm done, the things that give me the hardest time are the ones I appreciate most in the end. So you never know, we'll see. But what I don't do is just give up and stop working on something. I will just keep working on it until I like it. And then there's other things that you can do with these. So if I really didn't like these when they're done, oh, let me turn this light back on. Sorry. Now you can see a little bit better. These can be turned into tags or little cards to put in journals. So they don't necessarily have to be ATCs or ACEOs. Sometimes I change my mind and start over, but then I'll turn my project that didn't turn out the way I expected it to into something else. So there's that. So I think I mentioned this in my last video, stayed home for 4th of July and went up on top of the roof and watched the fireworks in the neighborhood because my neighbors go all out. And sometimes it's just too hard to get out in Fort Lauderdale and get into the crowd onto the beach, and it's hot, and we just decided that we would stay and watch the fireworks. And I gotta tell you, we see it from every city surrounding us. I mean, there were big lots of fireworks around. It was fun. Just me and Bob. So I don't know if I'm going to do these flowers. I don't know. Sometimes I start outlining and I just keep going. There's something very meditative about outlining. I love taking my pens out and finishing off a project. Uh-oh, I think I stuck my finger in some wet ink over here. That's okay. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Oh, I didn't put a little phrase on here. What do I have? But I do have a lot on this. I think that would be a little too much, though. And I don't want to cover that up. So maybe not. Yeah, I think we have enough on that card. Okay, what else? Oh, one more. And then I will call this a day. So kind of laid back today. It's just something that I needed to get done. I'm not feeling 100% today, but I did not want to because I'm going to be busy this weekend and I won't be back for a few days here unless I do just little shorts showing you what we're doing. I did not want to miss the opportunity to share what I'm working on, especially since we all hit 507 now at this point. I know I've told you already. That's how excited I am. So anyway, I wanted to at least show you what I'm working on now. So I don't know if I'm going to go back and do the tags. I feel like I should maybe, because it looks kind of flat next to everything now. So we will. Now, I probably should have used a thinner chrome pen. That might have been better. But I was just trying to. So I watched a video a while ago. I had to stop and take a break. And it was all about procrastinating and how you're really just thinking about the outcome and it's kind of keeping you from getting started, and you should just get started even though you're not planning on finishing the whole thing. Just take one step. And so that's what I did today because I really wasn't feeling... I'm always feeling like doing something creative. I always want to. I don't always have the energy to do it. And sometimes I just put things off until it's way more of a task than my mind has really made it. So today I said, let me get started on these. No matter what happens, they don't have to be perfect. Sometimes when you just take everything out and lay it out in front of you, it's easier. At least for me, anyway. I did that with my book a few times, where I thought, I don't know what I want to write. I don't know where this chapter's going. But I did it anyway. And, you know, if you set a goal to write just a little bit or create something small or whatever it is, fold the laundry. I do it a lot with the laundry. I'm just going to fold 5 pieces. And I'm an overachiever. So if I say I'm going to fold 5 pieces of laundry, I at least fold 10. But I never say that because then I'd be like, oh, 10 pieces of laundry. I don't feel like doing it. But 5 is okay. You could do 5 in just a couple minutes. But it never fails. As soon as I pick something up to get started, I keep going. So that's my little trick. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And we got some chrome going there. I'm wondering, I think it's pretty good. There's some, you see how some of the chrome just soaked into the paper, and some of it is, it's still pretty. And I was thinking about the matte gel medium, but I don't know how that's going to go over the oil pastels. And the oil pastels are still a little bit sticky. See, I can pick up a little bit if I rub it hard enough, but it's pretty hard now. I don't think it's going to smudge when I put it in the protective sheet that I put these in, but I don't know if I want to do a matte gel medium over it. But anyway, that looks patriotic, even though we had the pastel backgrounds. I was a little concerned about that, but I was down for the challenge because I did not want to do 2 separate sheets of a masterboard. It would have taken me too long, and the whole point in doing this was to catch up. So I will continue to look and think about these and see how to finish them off. And next week I will be back and I'll work on the things with wings. And I have a couple other projects for next week. I'm gonna not be in my art room for a few days, so I may work on some projects and do some shorts and show you what I'm working on, and we'll see. It's very unpredictable with the grandkids around. So I hope you enjoyed this first set of ATCs and what I did with our Masterboard Monday this past Monday. And I hope you all have a really crafty and creative weekend, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for the support and helping me get to 500 and next stop 1,000. If you like this video, like and subscribe, share it with a friend. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching.